pump, pump, pump. I'm pumping these videos lately like there's no end to it. No, there's probably some kind of end. Of course there is. Come on, you know it. You know it. There's always an end to every cycle in life. And then there's a new beginning. And sometimes the new beginning is very different from, the new cycle that starts. Is very different or very promising in regards to the previous one. And sometimes it, ends up being worse than that one. Or better. Or about the same. Anyways, yeah, lately, I like the fact that, you guys respond. That's always great because I get more, more feedback. I get more of like, hey, what about these? What about that? To certain things that don't respond, just so you know, intentionally, because they don't make any sense. You figure out why. So you keep posting these questions. At some point I may respond. I don't know if it's gonna make sense, if it's gonna tie into this other message. But for now, it's in general, it's very nonsensical, But anyways, so to those things that don't respond anymore, I used to, and now I just don't. I just ignore it. But I like certain feedback, because it shows that we are nearing this time of the decision, this time of the split, right? I talk to my mom a lot because she's very open, right? She's very, inquisitive, she investigates a lot of stuff, researches, or investigates, inquires about a whole lot of stuff about life, because she was never happy with the religious version of life and spirituality that was given to her as a child. She already had doubts and questions that most of the time she wouldn't receive any adequate answers to. So she kept looking, and then terrible things happened to her. And then later on, when I was born in my, our immediate family, we had to go through very, very tough times, and that put me and my mom, who were always more inquisitive, always more, curious about these things, and just wondering about these events and these things that, what was the purpose, why they happened, could they be prevented, could they be changed, all this and that, Of course, these events involved death of some of the closest people. So, and also traumatic life up until that, and afterwards especially. So, I usually don't talk about myself, my personal life. I have a very specific reason why I don't do that. It's simply I don't want to attach you to my persona. Because that usually turns into a worship of a person, right? And so I know better than that, and I don't involve you into my personal affairs because they don't matter to you. If they do, I'm just telling you they shouldn't. Because you have your own lives, you have your own personal things to deal with, and that's all you should really matter to you. What I insist on giving and sharing with the world is, or the consciousness, only the reminders of what's taking place and why things are shaping the way they are, and how there are different ways about going about this whole life, this whole creative process that we call creation. So that's what I do. Okay, now the personal stuff is so stupid in a way, because then people get attached to like, oh my God, and they feel pity for you, or they feel sorry for you, and then you create this cult of like, people want to help you, people want to send you love and all this. I don't need that, in the sense I'm not here for that. Okay, I have that in my life from myself. So I'm not out there, I'm not here to seek you to admire me, honor me, cherish me, especially not worship me or love me. You can love me, there's nothing wrong with that, it's fine. I receive love from anybody that recognizes the value of the things I share, that's fine. If I don't, I'm not upset, I'm not, insulted by any means whatsoever. I just learn simply not to share with those people because it doesn't have any value to them. So why tossing these things out of the window, whereas I could actually give this and spend my time, my energy for somebody that actually really needs it and is really there to soak it all in. So that's the whole idea of what's happening. So for those of you who don't really follow me from years ago, some of you do, some just found me, some are finding me, some have been around for a little while, and that's just a small, simple, clarification that I feel like everybody, all the so-called gurus, life coaches, motivational speakers, the good thing is to keep your personal life out of it. You can say, I had bad times, I learned this and this and this. I don't know, there was a death in my family, I had to deal with the loss and all that stuff. But you don't have to go into all the details because it becomes a fetish for a lot of people. Our pains and other people's pains a lot of times turn into this fetish. Oh, we want to hear more. Oh, what happened then? Oh my God. Oh, you suffered this much? Oh no. Oh, poor you. So what happened then? What happened to your mother? Oh my God. Oh, what a terrible life. And then, we salivate over the pain, and we glorify that pain, we glorify that misery, and there's nothing glorious about it, as you know yourselves. Everybody goes through something, everybody. Okay, some people's lives are easier, some people's lives are tougher, but the most pain person experiences because of the existential questions. The existential questions are so hard for anybody to deal with. So extremely hard, especially when you're at the beginning and you're just wondering, what the heck am I doing here? Who am I? Why am I alive? What is this life about? What am I supposed to be doing? I'm lost. I don't feel any purpose. I don't feel any sense for anything. I don't have any appetite for living. It's a whole lot of stuff that comes up once you really, really start getting, honest with yourself and your own understanding of who you are, of yourself, and what yourself even is. That's a big, it's misconstrued in most of the cases. That what is this self? What is myself? What is myself? First of all, what is mine anyways? And what's the self? What the heck is this? And then people say, oh, it's a bad thing. It's the ego. It's like, get rid of it as quick as you can. Throw it in the trash can. Oh my God, take the ego out. Get it out. Get it out. Get all of it out. Don't have even an ounce of it. You're such a bad person with ego. Don't do that. It's like, it's funny. It's funny once you realize that such an effort is so so stupid, and it's such a waste of your energy to trying to get rid of your ego. It's like, whereas you should just accept that you are you. There's certain things you value as your own, and that's totally fine. Obsession really comes with when you start punishing yourself for you being you. Oh, I'm not supposed to be like that, that's not good, I'm supposed to help everybody, I'm supposed to be this, I'm supposed to be that, and then you start changing yourself. And because you start changing yourself, you can't embrace who you are, and you cannot accept yourself. And that's when the misery enters. So then you have you're always split between, should I just be myself? Should I value certain things as my own? Should I have any property? Should I have any belongings? Or should I just give everything away and then be miserable because, on one hand, I'm happy that I don't have to deal with all these possessions and all these responsibilities when you have possessions of guarding them, right? And then on the other hand, you're like, okay, but now I don't have anything. And I found my happiness, it's great, I'm peaceful, it's this and it's that. But what if I want to do some things in life? I don't know. What if I want to go on a bike? I don't have to. Yeah, I can go swim. I don't need a bicycle. I don't need the mechanics to fix my bike. I don't need the stores that sell tires. I don't need the store that sells spare parts. Yes, that's, it's a lot of work. It's a lot of, worries, stress, money involved. What if I don't have that, right? What if I just get rid of all of that and I just go swimming, just walking into nature? That's fine. That's great. But what if I want to have that experience of that adrenaline? What if I want to experience what I'm capable of? How I handle my vehicle? How I, respond in certain, challenging situations? Do I have enough guts? Do I have enough, courage to go over it? I mean, those are the things that do matter once you start researching and getting deeper into who you are. Okay? Because that will lead you into other purposeful things about yourself. Experience your own power. Is it wrong to experience your power? Is it part of the ego and you should toss it out and lay down on the ground and just wait there until you evaporate? No, of course not. So be realistic in this spiritual quest. That's the only thing I can tell you. And it doesn't make sense to keep crucifying yourself over this ego thing. It's nice to help other people, but be careful, because there's a balance of creating positive stuff and creating negative stuff. Because you gotta understand, these things, this duality, is never separate. So it always goes hand in hand. So this is such an illusion that people say, well, we gotta get out of this world of duality, So where do you go? Please send me the address. I'm gonna go there. I'm joking. I was there, okay? I was in a non-dual, and each one of us, I'm not special, each one of us is there all the time, except that your conscious self, the ego, doesn't get to experience that because you don't allow it, because you keep crucifying this ego. So, but you can experience that non-dual place, the not the oneness, but the wholeness, everything, allness. Okay, you can experience that. There is nothing there. You understand that? There is nothing there, and there's everything there. So, which means there's no direction. There's no hands, there's no fingers, there's no limbs, there's no eyes, there's no ears. There's nothing there. It is a sense of perfection, because you don't need anything there. You don't strive to get anything there. You don't desire anything, so you're content, 100% content. You basically just are. Now, this reality, or the realities that we create every single moment, that consciousness creates what we see, what we think we can touch, what we think is real, that itself, now that's a big deal. That's when the creativity comes, and actually has a real purpose. So outside of that, there is nothing. So you want to keep crucifying your ego, go ahead and feel guilty about creating these things and enjoying the creation. But that's all that's really there. All right? Beyond that is nothing but total, complete peace and no form. No form, no shape, nothing. It's a very, very amazing experience in itself, but only if you can come here. See? Now, if you're all the time there, you don't know what that is. But having this and then going back and then coming back, you can appreciate that. And then you also know that there is no point of being there, because we came from there and we come from there to be able to enjoy the ideas, the products of these ideas that are the illusions or the projection of this stuff you touch, you think you touch, stuff that you smell, stuff that you hear, stuff that you see. That is here, not there. There's nothing there. But here, it's this. It's a dream. It's a total dream. You can wake up and it all falls apart. When you close your eyes, this world does not exist anymore. You hear it. If you close your ears, close your eyes, then you don't even hear it anymore. And then you don't see it, which means for you, it's not there. Now you sense it. Now, if you are able to detach yourself or lock those senses, you won't even have that sensation. You go into a totally dark room where there's not even a pinch of light. You lock yourself in, you go in the water, let's say there's only water there, so you can float. and you will know that there is nothing there. Nothing, absolutely nothing. Because you won't see anything, you won't perceive anything, and you won't hear anything, you won't taste anything. So, with that being said, I will left you with this today. That's a pretty heavy thing to digest. And I'll be back with some other stuff I wanted to talk about. So, you have a good day. I'm gonna head on my bike, do some crazy as downhill and enduro riding, which is always challenging, which is always very much on the edge. I love it. Alright guys, see ya.